It's Monday, the 16th of November 2020. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's headlines. Australia signs a 15-nation free trade pact, the biggest ever, marking a major step forward in the economic integration of the region. That's our main story. Plus, while Australia contains the COVID-19 virus, case numbers in the US skyrocket. Local state borders should be reopened by Christmas, with the exception of Western Australia, and why the telco and energy companies are starting to look a lot like each other. Australia has joined other Asian countries, including China, South Korea and Japan, to create the world's largest single trading bloc. The formal establishment of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership will create a single set of rules for countries trading in the region. It's been 8 years in the making, is more than 14,000 pages long, and will cover a region accounting for about 30% of the world's population and total economic output. The only country who failed to sign the deal after 32 rounds of negotiations was India, but it does include New Zealand, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore and Vietnam. While trade levels are low at the moment due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the framework will allow a quick escalation of the movement of goods and services in the region when the coronavirus settles down. Free trade is a very efficient way to boost global growth. In theory, it means the countries best at producing certain products manufacture those goods and services. In reality, national interests always get in the way, often around agricultural products, and so does politics, as demonstrated by the current spat between China and Australia that's impacting many exports. But when trade is normalised again, having a framework to operate under that allows relatively free trade will be very beneficial to Australia and the regional economy. It also boosts our ability to diversify exports away from China, since the rules of engagement are now set. And it might even help our fragile relationship with our biggest trading partner. In overseas news, the COVID-19 epidemic is rampant across North America, with the infection rates in the current third wave far higher than the previous two. Over the weekend, in one 24-hour period, the US reported 189,000 cases. Europe is no better. Italy has just hit 1 million cases. New restrictions came into force across Austria, Greece, Italy and Portugal. President Donald Trump is starting to sound slightly more defeatist, tweeting that the only reason Joe Biden won was because the election was rigged. Of course, he then rescinded the tweet, saying he conceded nothing. Locally, the National Cabinet met on Friday and agreed to try and get borders open by Christmas. South Australia has removed hard border restrictions with Victoria from 1 December, assuming no more flare-ups of COVID-19 community transmissions. Western Australia said it would reopen its border, except to travellers from Victoria and New South Wales. But late yesterday, it reclosed its border with South Australia after a hotel quarantine worker in that state tested positive. Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk said she was hopeful the border between her state and Victoria and Sydney would be open by Christmas, and all states adopted national tracing guidelines. Meanwhile, New South Wales recorded the 8th day straight of no community transmission of COVID-19. Victoria is at 16 straight days. The South Australian case was the only community transmission in Australia yesterday. The Chief Executive of Nine Entertainment, Hugh Marks, will leave the company after 5 years running the media business. It emerged that Mr. Marks, who's been separated from his wife for a year, was having a consensual relationship with a senior manager, and he took the unusual decision of resigning immediately after discussions with Nine Chair Peter Costello. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce will today launch the airline centenary celebrations, and yesterday said the airline should be at half capacity by Christmas as state borders reopen. Commonwealth Bank has upwardly revised its growth forecasts and expects the economy to expand by 4.2% next year, up from its previous forecast of 2.5%. It believes the unemployment rate may have already peaked. And AGL Energy will start offering broadband services as it ramps up a telecommunications offering, just as Telstra pushes into the energy space. AGL will offer discounted NBN plans to customers who bundle them with their energy deals. On Thursday, Telstra said it was considering entering electricity retailing. The utility players are all starting to look similar, And at some point in the future, it's quite possible you'll have one provider for electricity, gas, and telecommunications. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. There's more on all of these stories in today's full Fear and Greed podcast, as well as an interview with NAB Chief Economist Alan Oster about why business investment is so important to the economy. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.